We have India's G20 Sherpa Amitabh Kant joining us on the broadcast. Amitabh Kant, I think it was Anand Mahindra who said yesterday that the India story, he said the India story as we know it, the economic rise of India would be impossible without the contribution of Ratan Tata and the Tata Group, especially in the last 3 to 4 decades.
Well, you know, to my mind, Ratan Tata's his contribution has been immense. You know, he's the person who globalized. Yeah, बहुत disturbance आ रहा है, bounce back कर रहा है.
Okay, go ahead, Amitabh Kant. Go ahead. While I fix that, you continue speaking, and you continue speaking. I'll fix that as you speak. We'll make sure we remove that echo. Go ahead.
Okay. So I think Ratan Tata's contribution has been immense in making Indian companies go global. You know, his ability to, not merely get Tatas to buy Tetley and then later to get Chorus and buy Indian Hotel Company to buy hotels abroad, and then Jaguar Land Rover purchase, that has really enabled Indians to think globally. But that has also enabled technology to come into India, and that has set the vision for many other companies to go global in a very big way. But more than anything else, I really recall that, my great interactions with him was when I was CEO Niti Aayog, and his thinking on nutrition, his thinking on improving learning outcomes, his focus on startups, and his emphasis on improving the Human Development Index of India was really enormous. And that's why he partnered Niti Aayog in the field of nutrition through Tata Trust. He partnered us in the Aspiration District program, which was Prime Minister's favorite program, and all this made a huge, huge difference. They had a transformational impact on ground. And I think he had this perspective that a weak mother would lead to weak children. Stunting and wasting was high in India, and that's why Tata Trust must contribute to it. And similarly, on improving the quality of life of citizens in some of the most backward districts of India, their contribution in partnership with the government was immense. So I really thought that more than just a great businessman and a great global leader, he was a man who had huge social commitment. He had a focus in Human Development Index. He had an emphasis on improving the quality of life of every Indian, and that's why he was a remarkable human being.
Himself, I mean, everyone who knew him, of course, you had the honor of knowing him for many years. He lived a very simple life. He was very compassionate, right? And that showed in the working and the functioning of the entire Tata Group, something that many companies today can pick a leaf from.
So, you know, I met him for the first time as a very young officer in the tourism department of Kerala. And then we entered into a joint venture with the Taj Group of Hotels, and in Kerala they ran 7 hotels as a joint venture. And I met him because I was in the board of that company and regularly and frequently meet him. And he felt that there was huge potential for tourism, and later when I came to Government of India and did the Incredible India campaign, again I interacted with him. And he was very kind, you know, as a very, very young officer, but he was very kind to release my first book, Branding India, an Incredible Story. And not only did he release it, he invited all the top executives of Tata Groups to come and interact with me at that point of time. And then I realized what a fine human being. He was a man full of kindness. He was a man full of compassion. He had a big picture. And he wanted India to do extremely well in hospitality, and that's the reason why today the Taj Group of Hotels is spread not merely in India, but is an iconic chain across the world. And that's simply because Mr. Ratan Tata was not merely a businessman, he was a statesman, he was a leader, he was a visionary, he was a big thinking business leader with a global perspective.
Yeah, they say that, there's that legendary story of how Ford looked down on the Tata Group at one point, rejected them, and, he let his work do the talking. Years later, when he acquired JLR, right? Many such stories of how throughout his life it was his work that let him speak.
So there are two remarkable stories, which I learned from my brother Ravi Kant, who was the managing director of Tata Motors, and he told me that but for Ratan Tata's strong will, it would not have been possible to lift a completed plant. It has never happened in the history of the world that a fully ready plant in Singur was lifted plant by plant, machinery by machinery, brick by brick, and put in Sanand in Gujarat. And actually, that has had a huge multiplier impact in terms of Sanand growing as an industrial area. And secondly was when they bought over Jaguar and Land Rover. What he says is not merely that great two companies were bought at very low prices by Tata Group, but it has enabled large-scale technology to come in, and that has enabled Tata Motors to really excel in electric vehicles and many other areas, and improve the quality of design and better engineered products from India, and that has enabled Tatas to export vehicles from here and become a top-class automobile manufacturing. It has had a spin-off effect in various areas. For them. Also, the fact that, if you look at many of the new areas that Tatas have got into, semiconductors, batteries, design of chips, all these are completely new areas which he has encouraged, he has motivated his team to get into. So a lot of credit to Mr. Ratan Tata for having taken India into completely new and emerging areas of growth.
Yeah. Amitabh Kant, thank you for speaking to Republic TV. Amitabh Kant, with his memories and learnings from Ratan Tata, someone who's known India Inc. very closely, has worked with them for years together. Thank you for joining us here on Republic TV as we remember Ratan Tata today.